Oh man. I was getting ready to record, and I like blinked, and my eye made this like squishy popping sound, and now it's watering. It doesn't hurt. It's just watering now. Oh man. Guess I'll just have to do this with one eye. Alright, well anyways, how's it going, guys? SeaOtterGamer here, obviously, for those of you who know me or don't know me. Either way, we are here with our... Oh, shoot. I forgot this for the last episode, too. We are actually doing a PPE, which, kind of requires a pet, given its name. You know, pet player experience. So, oh man, my eye is really watering. Okay, yeah, this is the one we want. Alright, we'll have our chick. We'll also start, I think it's this one. Yeah, magic heal, attack close. We're gonna start leveling up this guy here when we get stuff as well. So, and then we'll eventually use him until we can merge them together and get, our pet here, which is magic heal, electric, and heal, which is what I really want. So, alright. So I thought today we would talk a little bit about this YouTube thing that's been going on lately, and it's called Where's the Fair Use? And it's got its own hashtag and everything right now. You've probably seen it if you pay attention to what's going on in the YouTube sphere, right? But basically, it all started with his name's Doug Walker. Some of you may know him as the Nostalgia Critic. He put out a video a few weeks ago that basically said, oh, that was bad damage there, as Northern Lion would say. Put out a video the other day, or probably 2 weeks ago or so, saying, you know, we've been getting all of these really bogus copyright claims and strikes around our channel, and this is something that's been ongoing for a while. It has to do with the way that YouTube processes copyright claims, and how it's basically stacked against creators, even though creators are pretty much who make the money on YouTube for YouTube through their ad revenue. So I thought I would kind of go through, I'd try and, as fairly as possible, talk about kind of both sides of the coin, because generally you only hear one side, which is the YouTube side, but there are two sides of this, obviously. So first off, let's talk a little bit about how copyright claims are generated on YouTube. There's two ways. The first way is through a manual process. Someone who owns something copyrighted will say, hey, this video is infringing on my copyrights, and will send a takedown notice manually. And if you watch a video, there's a little flag. We could do a lab, but I'm not quite level 20 yet, so I really would rather not. And so they'll say, like, here is the portion of my video that is being infringed. Here's their video, and kind of it. And YouTube will take down the video, right? So that is the first way that you can get a copyright claim. Now, I said claim. I'm not saying strike. We'll talk about the difference here in a second. So the second way that you can get a copyright claim against you is an automated process through YouTube called Content ID. Now, YouTube has how do I put this? They have an astronomical, that's the word I'm looking for, amount of videos being uploaded constantly. It's like a day's worth every hour or something. I don't know. I don't actually remember the exact number, but as you can probably imagine, it is quite a lot. And so for them to be able to actually process all of it would be very, very difficult. For them to hire someone and go through every video and look for copyrighted content and that kind of stuff would be very difficult for them to do. It would just take a lot of manpower. And so what they've done is they've created something called the Content ID claim system. And what it will do is it will go through, when you upload your video, it will, let's just Nexus here. I don't want to die. That'd be a short-lived series, right? It'll go through, and if it sees any video or hears any audio that matches something that has been uploaded to the Content ID program previously by an IP holder, which is intellectual property, for those who don't know, then it will take down the video immediately, usually. I mean, there's a few different things they can do. And it will give you a copyright notice. Again, not a copyright strike, a copyright notice. And there's a few different things IP holders can tell it to do. They can say, take down the video. They can say, track the video for me, which will basically just track it so they can see how the video is doing. Usually music people do that one. At least independent music people will do that one. And they can also monetize it, which means that ads will run on the video, but the content creators won't get the money from the ads. The IP holders will. So that is another thing that they can do. Oh, let's not die. That's another thing that they can do as well, if they choose to. I think there's one more I can't really remember right now. And what you can do if you get a copyright claim, I've gotten 2 of them through my entire time at YouTube. I've gotten 2. That's because blind and almost dead. Not a good combination. That's because I'm very careful with what I post, right? And make sure that I have the rights and stuff. But what happens is you'll get a copyright claim and it'll show you the part of the video, what it was matching, and also who owns that IP or who says that they own that IP. And so what you can do is if it's correct, it was not an error. Oh, good, we're level 20, excellent. If it was not an error, then what you can do is just accept it, and then they'll run ads or do whatever they want to do to it, and then that's that, and your claim goes away basically. But there's really no penalty for your channel doing that. Now, there is a penalty. Well, there could be a potential penalty if you file a counterclaim, and basically the first counterclaim is free, right? And so you file your first counterclaim, and what you will get is they'll review it and see if you're telling the truth, or if not. So you need all of your evidence saying, here's all the permissions I have to use the content, and or the person who says that they own it don't own it, which we'll get into in a little bit here. But basically just saying, basically like, here's all the evidence I have. Can you please take down this copyright notice against me? And they'll review that. Oh, my eye is still watering. It feels dry. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hurting. It just feels dry and is watering. I don't know. Which is odd because it's really watering. You don't think it would feel dry. But anyway, so you have got your first copyright claim. You have gone through and said, okay, this person here does in fact own the rights to it, or doesn't own the right, and you've taken the appropriate step. Now, if you've filed a counterclaim to that, then what will happen is they will review it, and they will either reinstate your video, which is great, or they will uphold the claim and say, we don't believe you have, we don't have enough evidence to say that you have the rights to use this sound or this video or whatever, right? And the issue with this, first off, there's 2 main issues. One is nobody ever sees these claims, right? I'm just hoping to get another health potion here. No one ever really sees these claims. It's all automated, and the reason why that's a problem is because there have been cases in the past, there we go, that's what I wanted, where people have been filing false copyright claims. And what they've been doing is they've been hoping to basically generate revenue off of the ads on other people's videos. So, like, they say, oh yeah, somebody will say, oh yeah, you know, this is copyrighted, so go ahead and run ads, and then that person will get money, even though they don't own the IPs. Now, that is a huge issue. In fact, that's highly illegal. but is one of the two main problems that's been going on. The second one is that videos that are indeed legal to make under the DMCA, which is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. I had to remember there for a second. Are being taken down as well. And there's certain types of videos that are protected. And with a few of those are videos that are reviews. Obviously, they don't want to censor criticism because that would be anti-consumer. And so reviews are one of the types of videos that are allowed under this system, right? I really would rather not die right here. There we go. And also would rather... There we go. Not worth it. And then also you can use parts of videos if it's for educational purposes and the like. And sometimes you can use parts of games and stuff if you credit them. So there's all sorts of legal gray area for this. But let's center on reviews because that seems to be the biggest issue right now. So reviews are I'm hoping to get gear, which is why I'm here. Reviews are protected under the DMCA. And what we've been seeing is that, let's say, game developers or movie people, you know, like Sony or whatever, I don't know, whoever made a movie, doesn't like your review. Maybe your review isn't necessarily positive. And so what they'll do is they're like, oh, well, you didn't give me a positive review, so I'm going to revoke my access for you to use my IP and hit you with a copyright claim. Which is not right, first of all. And also illegal, second of all, even though there's really not much that is going to come from that avenue unless you sue them, which is very, very expensive. But the other issue is that when they put that strike on your channel, not strike, I keep saying strike, when they put that claim on your channel, they will get the ad revenue until your claim. And so what usually happens is it's usually a day or two, right? Is they will generate ad revenue off of your video for the first day or two of the video being up. If they uphold the claim, it'll be more like the first week to month. Now, the issue with that is the time where you make the most amount of money on your videos is generally the first few days, especially if you have kind of a following, right? Because what'll happen, and you guys probably already know this, is that when a video is posted, people will just immediately watch it, right? And you have this kind of gathering of people watching your video, and that's where you make most of your ad revenue and where you get most of your views. Now, the issue is that is the money that they are also taking. And so what you could theoretically do is just file copyright claims and just hold off on releasing the video if it was bogus or whatever, if your claim was bogus, to basically steal all the ad revenue from that video. And then you release it and you got your ad revenue illegally and they get their video back. Everything's hunky-dory, except for it's not, because you didn't earn that ad revenue, but you still took it anyways, right? And, oh, that's fair game because I did damage. Ooh. All right. We have upgraded gear. Perfect. All right, we're getting somewhere. So unfortunately, that's what's happening. And so a lot of people, myself included, say, well, maybe what they should do is instead of give the ad revenue to the person making the claim, they hold that money in an escrow account. And once the whole dispute is finalized, then whoever won gets that ad revenue. So if the copyright holder wins, they get the ad revenue. If the YouTuber wins, then they get the ad revenue back. I think that is a great system. And in fact, they should be able to do that already, theoretically, because they track all of that anyways, right? So they just need to track it and send it once that claim is done. I'm taking that, but that's not for my PPE. We'll open that anyways. I think that's fair, right? It's not equipment or whatever. Now, that being said, and like I said, the majority of the issues with this are people doing like reviews and or using small clips of other people's works, which is technically fair use, right? Are the ones that are suffering from this, right? So that is one aspect of it. Now, the second aspect of it is there are tons of videos on YouTube that are not quite copyright legal, right? And Let's Plays have always been kind of a gray area. We generally will get around it because developers will give us permission, right? So just always do your research. If you're doing videos and stuff, do your research. Make sure that you have permission to use that footage and stuff. And such and such plays this game, so I should be okay, is not a valid excuse. Because I see that one a lot as well. They're like, oh, well, I don't know, Drifter plays Call of Duty, so I should be able to, right? That is not a valid excuse. Just because they didn't get... Oh, that's gonna hurt. Just because they didn't get caught or whatever, doesn't mean you won't, right? I'm gonna play it safe in Nexus again. I'll probably do this a little bit until we get potions and stuff. And so there are a lot of... I don't have a staff. There are a lot of stuff on YouTube that should be flagged. And, you know, with so many videos that are going up a day, right? It's unfair for YouTube to take the whole shoulder of that. And basically how DMCA is structured is if they don't take the video down immediately, then they also shoulder some of the burden and the blame. And so a lot of people are like, well, they should check first. And like, if they do that, then they're putting themselves at a liability, which they may want to do for large YouTubers, but they're not going to do for everybody. I'm sure they probably do that for like PewDiePie and some of the big guys, but they probably don't do it for everybody, right? In fact, the vast majority, they probably don't. So they have to take down your video or else they are also liable to be sued as well. And so from a business standpoint, it's clear they should take down your video. And honestly, I am fine with that. I'm just not fine with them giving all the ad revenue to the people claiming it without a decision being made. You know, once the decision is made and everything's finalized and, you know, they found out that, yeah, that is indeed the case, then, you know, go nuts. That ad revenue is should be going where it should be, right? So, however, if you've noticed, there's a lot of videos that are like, I don't know, whole episodes of Family Guy, and there's lots of videos that are like whole music videos, this is kind of a gray area as well, but like lyrics videos, they're like, oh, we took the song and we put our own, like, Windows Movie Maker lyrics on it, so we should be okay, right? And no, that is not all right. But either way, so there is a lot of content that should be taken down, and I do think that IP holders should have the right to contest stuff and to take stuff down. I don't know if it's feasible for YouTube to necessarily like hire people to take a look at stuff because of how much videos are uploaded every day. But I thought this is something that is going on with YouTube. This is a fight that's going on right now. It will probably reach other parts of the internet. So if you don't care so much for YouTube, but you care about other stuff, then it'll probably affect you as well. So, and a good example of that is right now freebooting with Facebook. So for those of you who do not know, Facebook has an issue right now with people stealing videos off of YouTube, claiming that they are their own, uploading them, and getting like millions, like hundreds of thousands or millions of views off of these videos. And they're basically stealing those views from content creators who could be making those views on YouTube and getting ad revenue. And soon, if it hasn't gone through already, I haven't been paying attention, soon, Facebook claims that it will also be giving ad revenue to video uploaders. So that opens a whole new avenue for people to steal your videos, put ads on them, and just steal ad revenue or get ad revenue off of your hard work. So that is a fun thing that's going on right now. Now, there is a takedown thing on Facebook, but they don't take it down immediately, and sometimes they'll flat out tell you, you know, we don't think you have the right to your own video, even though you give them all of the evidence that you can, right? And so I think that they should be liable because they don't take down your stuff immediately. Generally, they'll take it down, but they'll only take it down after like a month or so when they've already gotten all of the ad revenue they can from it, right? That is generally when they'll take it down, which under DMCA should mean that they are liable as well. So, well, let's talk about fair use itself. So we talked a little bit about reviews, using videos for educational purposes. There's a lot of different facets of fair use, but I think people kind of don't actually know how to use fair use or what fair use is actually useful for. And a lot of people try and use it as a defense. And fair use is not a defense. And I'm going to kind of half quote or summarize what Ryan, oh God, that was a lot of bullets there. Ryan Morrison, who is the video game attorney, he's kind of leading the charge for a lot of this on the lawyer side. But he put out a paper the other day basically saying a lot of people think that stuff is fair use when it's not, and that is a big part of the issue. And how it works is your video isn't safe under fair use until a judge specifically says your video's case is fair use, right? And so it's kind of on a video to video basis. So although you believe your video is fair use, and a lot of times it is, like if you watch Grade A Under A's video and he incorporates a small snippet of someone else's video, not the video in its entirety, but just a small amount of it, you know, to prove his point or to review it or something, right? That's just one example. That could be considered fair use because of the amount of the video used and the reason why it was used, right? So, but if you show a video in its entirety, then probably not fair use, which is where React channels kind of come into play. You know, there's that whole debacle with React World with the Fine Brothers not too long ago, and a lot of YouTubers coming out to say that they hate reaction channels because they steal their content. And what usually they'll do is they'll react to the video, so like they'll have the whole video playing with their face cam in the corner, and they'll just go, yeah, you know, every once in a while, just to add enough content to claim fair use or whatever, right? Ooh, lots of good stuff. Oh, I want that. No, I want that. And we are going to drink that because we are PPE. There's no reason not to, as I almost get one-shotted by a Medusa there. And so there's this whole big fight going on right now. There's some people saying that because of YouTube's actions, they are liable to get sued as well, but then someone would have to foot that bill, and that's an expensive bill, right? And just all sorts of nasty stuff going on right now. Oh, there's a cube god over there. Let's not go to the cube god. That would be a bad idea right now. Let's instead head in this general direction. There's a puppet. I hate being slowed. There we go. So, I had another point to that, but so it seems like most of the channels getting hit by this and getting hit by bogus copyright claims and stuff are generally the smaller channels. They're the ones who, oh, we're gonna mulligan again. They're the ones who really kind of get hit by it the hardest. And what that usually means, or a lot of times will mean, is that you will see someone get hit by some copyright notices and stuff. And then, you know, they don't know what to do with them, so maybe they'll claim that they're false and they'll get upheld, and then they'll try and claim they're false again and they'll get a strike. And their videos their channel just eventually gets banned and goes away. And that's a very sad thing, because there's a lot of potential with every channel. And oh, what is that? Okay. I'm gonna go this way. And so there's just a whole big thing. I just wanted to make you guys aware of it and give you a few of my views on it. I think that there's a middle ground there. I think that there are a lot of people getting hit with false claims illegally who can't do anything about it. Sure, they could sue and they might win, they might not. It'd be very expensive, so I doubt anyone would. And there's people getting hit with real claims that should be hit with them. There's people getting hit with real claims that shouldn't be, right? That doesn't make sense. People that are getting hit with bogus claims that shouldn't be. That's what I meant, right? And there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. So you'll probably see a lot more about this later. I know if you're looking for a really good unbiased opinion, I would go watch Boogie2988. Boogie2988. He is very good for having a fairly unbiased view of stuff, or showing both sides. I'm doing more research. I might do a full-on video about this later, depending on how it goes. I just wanted to just talk about that. It seemed like a good thing to talk about for today. Good topic, you know, a little bit more of the background, what's going on in the behind the scenes for a YouTube channel, which I know a lot of you guys like listening and talking about, and a lot of you guys are, you know, smaller or bigger channels who like to hear opinions on this kind of stuff. Just hop out of there. That's too dangerous. So, yeah, so that's going on here. Like I said, I've only gotten hit with 2. Was it 3? No, I've only got hit with 2. One of them was correct. One of them, which was the Tomb Raider that I played. The intro got hit with it, and I didn't know at the time. I was still young in the YouTuber's eyes. And so I just accepted it, and so they get the monetization, but, you know, whatever. But my other one was a song that I bought off of a site called Audio Micro, which gives free sound effects or paid sound effects and what's it called? Like music and stuff to use for your videos. And I just had to give them the sheet that they give you when you buy that, and then they took it down. So it hasn't affected me yet. You know, there's always that risk though, and it is a very scary thing. And the problem is you can get, you know, you can get a whole bunch of these on your account all at once, you know. You can get a whole bunch of these on your account at once, and you can also review and get rid of as many as you want at a time. But if you get 3 strikes, then you're out, right? And so, for the most part, you can only actually respond to 2 of them at a time. Because if you respond to 3, and they all come back with a strike, then your channel's gone, right? So, just to be safe, most people will only ever respond back to 2, and some people get them every single day because they do stuff like game reviews, and they do stuff like movie reviews, and they're not always, you know, positive reviews, and people don't necessarily like that. And, 32 health. 32 health. Oh, man. I'm going to leave it here because I think if I play any longer, I'll die. Let's open our egg, though. So yeah, there's my thoughts on it. I think that YouTube should put... Ooh, that's kind of cool. Cardinal. Okay, I think it's this guy here. Attack close, decoy, and electric. Or is it this one? I want the Cardinal. And Rising Fury. My thought is, honestly, it's not so bad so far as long as you do your research, know what you're getting into beforehand, and know whether or not you have the rights to use everything that you're using, pictures, video, and audio, and know where to go for that in case you get a claim so that you can easily counter that claim if you want to. But I think that they should put all the money during the counterclaim process into an escrow account and give it to whoever wins. I think that's a pretty a pretty easy step. You know, it's already built in. It'd be easy enough for them to do. But like I said, I might do a actual video of this at a later date, possibly. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I hope you found this interesting. I will see you all in the next episode.